Bhagavad Gita Chapter 12, verse 18. Sama shatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanayo shitoshna sukha dukkheshu sama sanga vivarjitah. And next one. Tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kena chit aniketa sthiramatir bhakti manye priyo naraha. Translation: those who are alike to friend and foe, equipoised in honor and dishonor, cold and heat, joy and sorrow, and are free from all unfavorable association. Those who take praise and reproach alike, who are given to silent contemplation, content with what comes their way, without attachment to place of residence, whose intellect is firmly fixed in me, and who are full of devotion to me, such persons are very dear to me. And then he says, Tulya ninda stutir mauni, they take praise and reproach alike. So it's a great ability to have. I once visited an institute for the deaf and dumb. So out there, the inmates, they were deaf and dumb. So I found in one room there were two of them. And one was gesturing wildly at the other. And the other had his back towards his friend. And he was smiling away, having a gala time. So I asked the warden what's going on here. The warden, with sign language, asked the second guy that why is the first guy so agitated? Second guy said, he's trying to insult me. With his gestures, he said. Now they cannot speak. So he's trying to insult me with sign language, but I refuse to listen. I refuse to listen. Poor guy is unable to insult me, that's why he's so frustrated. So Lord Krishna says, Tulya ninda stutir mauni. So if you can become Tulya ninda stuti, equiposed in praise and criticism, that is an admirable quality. And mauni. Mauni means given to silent contemplation. Life provides us with so many experiences as we go through it. But all those experiences, for them to transform into learning, you need to stop for a little while and pause and go into solitude. This solitude has tremendous recuperative powers. We have all heard of the fight or flight response. You know, our physiological system, when faced with stressful situations, it creates the hormones and chemicals to fight or flight. That is what leads to emotional stress and the biological response, more sugar, glucose in the blood and higher heart rate. But the same physiology has another aspect. When you go into solitude and your brain decides there is absolutely no danger of any kind now, no scope for fight or flight, then it reverses into rest and recuperate. So, the organs that are now not needed, they tend to slow down and your body replenishes itself. So a little bit of solitude on a daily basis, it serves like a nourishing balm to the soul. In that solitude, you ponder over the experiences you have had. You go do a little bit of self-analysis and then self-evaluation. You determine your goals for yourself, reaffirm your resolves, work upon your thoughts and your intellect, and through all of this, you sharpen the saw. So, sharpening the saw so that when you start doing your works, you can do them much better. Like the story of the two woodcutters, one would use all his energy but would not sharpen the saw. And one, after every tree was cut, he would spend 5 minutes in sharpening his saw. Now this guy thought it's a waste of time, but that guy was cutting at faster speed because he was becoming more effective by sharpening the saw. So if you see in history, all saints have from time to time gone into solitude. The creator Brahma himself, he also went into solitude. When Brahmaji was born, the firstborn Brahma, on the lotus flowers, that's what the Puranas say, and there was nothing around him because Brahma is going to create, and until then there is nothing. So all he found was an ocean of energy. Who am I and why have I been born and what is my duty? So he found the stem of the lotus and he started going down the stem. But he did not come to the end, it was so long. So he retraced his path and came back and sat down on the lotus. Now the waves of the ocean were creating this sound. Tapa, tapa, tapa. Go into silent contemplation and perform austerities. So Brahma sat down and did austerities. And then he got the enlightenment. Shree Krishna came in front and he gave him 4 verses on the basis of which Brahma created. So he's the first, this is the Chatushloki Bhagavad. The first verse is Ahameva samevagre nanyadyat sadasat param paschadaham yadetacha yova shishyeta sosmyaham. Brahmaji, when this world did not exist, I alone existed. Whatever is manifest in the form of the world is my very form. Where this world ceases to exist, I exist there. And when the world will no longer remain, I will remain. There is nothing apart from me. So, Brahmaji used these 4 verses to create. But the point is, first of all, he did silent contemplation. And Vedavyas did the same. Vedavyas had written so many scriptures. And he was still dissatisfied. Why are people not getting impacted? So Narad ji came and said, why don't you write a scripture completely about Bhakti? So Vedavyas did not immediately take the quill and start writing. He first went into contemplation. And there he saw the material energy of God, Maya. And he saw the soul's suffering in the material energy. That moved him to compassion. And then he decided, now to help the souls, I will write the scripture. And he wrote the Bhagavatam. So contemplation has been a favorite pastime of so many saints. On a daily basis, you must have your solitude, where you meditate, you contemplate, and then you go out into the world and exert yourself. And then you relax to replenish your energies. So the cycle of life has to go on. Tension, relaxation, replenishment. You have to do all these activities to function at your optimal best. So Lord Krishna says, those who are given to silent contemplation are very dear to me. And then he says, Santushto yena kena chit, content with what comes their way. Sai itna dijiye yame kutumba samaya. When we were little children, we were taught this verse. मैं भी भूखा न रहूं, साधु न भूखा जाए. We require enough for our needs, but not for our greeds. Because the greed is endless. One man, he went to a curio shop. And all the items were pretty reasonable, $20, $50, even $100. But there was a plate there for $50,000. He asked the shop owner, why is this $50,000? The shop owner said, you know what? Whatever you wish, this plate will fulfill it. It is worth every dollar of the price you pay. He said, really? Magic plate? So he gave him a check for 50,000 and took the plate home. So he said, okay, now my time has come. He asked the plate, give me $1 million. The plate said, why $1 million? Why not $2 million? He said, yeah, that's the point. So he said, okay, give me $2 million. The plate said, why $2 million? Why not $4 million? He said, this plate is very intelligent. Okay, give me $4 million. The plate said, why $4 million? Why not $8 million? Now he started getting irritated. He said, give me $8 million. The plate said, why 8? Why not 16? He said, this plate is crazy. It just doubles everything I say. I'm not going to get anything from it. Same with this mind of ours. It's like the plate. The mind says, I need this. And then you give it, you work for 5 years, slog it out in your mind. You are chasing the great American dream and finally you are a millionaire. The mind says, why 1 million? Why not 10 million? So, it's just chasing an illusion. So, we are always running after a happiness that is in future. Think about it. We are always chasing a future destination that will make us happy. In the hope, when I reach there, I will definitely be happy. But invariably, it's a trick of the mind. Because the mind then changes the goal. The mind, first of all, it was, if I get a job, I'll be happy. And later on, the mind changed the goal. I'm temporary. If I become confirmed, I'll be happy. And then again, it changed the goal. I'm a systems analyst. If I become a systems manager, I'll be happy. And it kept on changing and changing and changing. And it goes on. The billionaire is not happy. Because there's one billionaire who's got 2 billion. And that guy is not happy because Jeff Bezos has got so many 100 billion. And Jeff Bezos is miserable because Richard Branson went into space before he did. So, the way to be happy is not chase a future happiness. The way to be happy is to find joy in the present moment. Now we are always thinking, oh, you know what? If only my boss changes his nature, then I'll be happy. But instead of that, you just make peace with the situation. My boss is as he is. How can I change my thoughts to find happiness in this situation? That is the art of how to live. So it is, remember, happiness is not dependent upon the objects we have. It is dependent upon the way we think. We are focused on enhancing the quality of our living. But what is important is the quality of our life. So the quality of our life depends on the quality of our thoughts. Now we must decide that I will stop chasing the mirage, that future happiness which my mind keeps telling me about. And I will try and see how I can change my thoughts to be happy right now. So, you know what to do? Tell your neighbor, I will change my thoughts to be happy right now with all your faith and conviction. That's it.